Hey, welcome, my little tattletales. Listen, we are on day 2 of Jury Watch. You guys, I've touched base on my courtroom observers to see what has been going down interim. I have some really good juice for you guys. We're also literally going to talk about the fact that more and more legal experts are saying this case might end in a mistrial. They've also estimated now that Kim's defamation case is dismissed, how much Blac Chyna could actually reasonably be looking at. And we're also going to talk about why Kim's defamation case was actually dismissed. Now, there's going to be speculation, but I don't know. I listened to the speculation and I found it to be a little bit credible. And I wanted to bring it to you guys to see what y'all thought. All right, you guys, let's get into it. Before you do that, hit the like, hit the subscribe. And if you're really about that, hit the notifications, because you guys know we are going to be breaking down the verdict. We're also going to be breaking down what's going to happen in the future with Rob and Chyna's case. And you know we're going to follow that. I'm going to have a lot of cool legal experts on. You guys are going to love it. All right, you guys, with no further ado, let's get into this. Also, really quick, you guys, we got some breaking news about what's going on in the courtroom and jury instructions. My court insiders literally said that, yes, we're on verdict watch, and I'm going to explain all that other stuff later, but, right, they have been informed that when the verdict is read, each juror will have to answer to the 68 questions from the jury instructions form. Each juror will have to answer each of them 68 questions from the juror instruction form. It's going to be a doozy and it's going to be long, but y'all know I'm going to be there for you. Okay, let's get back into the rest of the mess. Just have to give you that breaking news in the video. Okay. So we talked to courtroom observers, and a lot of the courtroom observers actually have legal experience. This is the thing, right? A lot of people think since Kim Kardashian's defamation claim was excused that all the Kardashians are off the hook. Don't forget, Blac Chyna was going in for this for $300 million. Now, this was a super smart legal strategy. Why is that? Because it's simple. You have to pad the damages, not just so the jury can see how serious you are and how much the jury thinks you're worth, but also because in trial, things like this can happen all the time. Who could have predicted that the judge would dismiss Blac Chyna's largest defamation claim? However, luckily, she has big claims around everyone else, and those were not dismissed. So I know the media has made it seem like it's just over. It's just going to be a moral victory. She's not going to get anything. You guys, it literally went from $300 million, which was huge and would have been perfect, to setting the award somewhere between $14 million and $60 million. Yes, setting the award somewhere between $14 million and $60 million, right? Now, the thing is, Chyna, it sounds like from what the courtroom observer said, is hopping mad at Judge Crown and at, of course, Michael Rhodes. She feels a lot of unethical stuff went on. She feels like, well, again, this is all speculation. Nobody knows how Lynn really feels. But if her arguments with the judge, with him ripping off his mask and storming out, with him hiding behind everything, right? And with the way Michael Rhodes called her a liar, she called Michael a liar. They went at it in court. It looks like that Chyna is willing and eager and ready to take it down to the ground and make sure Blac Chyna gets what she deserves. However, again, we got to ask ourselves, will Chyna be happy with $14 million, $60 million and put that behind her? I would. Of course, I'm not the person that was offended by that, right? Now, look at this. Blac Chyna does also have other things on her mind. What are the other things on her mind? She has the case starting next week with Rob on revenge porn. You know I'm going to be covering this. And I got my courtroom observers already. Yes, right, your girl got people on the inside that are already going to be there and watching. But let's actually talk about this, right? Again, a lot of people are expecting that if the jury does what's right, the jury decision will come down for Chyna. However, if the award is too high, Michael Rhodes' reputation pretty much guarantees that he will appeal. If you guys don't know, Michael Rhodes literally represented Elon Musk. He represents big money. His reputation is for big money. And also, even though he doesn't have a lot of experience in defamation, even though he doesn't have a lot of experience in certain claims, the one thing he is known for doing and very sought after for doing is getting awards and juries to see things from his angle and reduce things, so that if a big money client goes in there and even if they're dead wrong, he has a way of talking to the jury so that they will reduce things. It is pretty much guaranteed that Michael Rhodes will appeal if the Kardashians feel that the award is too high, okay? However, let's keep in mind, if the award is too low, Chyna has enough evidence to bring down the house of cards. But keep in mind, my sources are saying the Kardashian money will keep it out of the public's eye, so any future victory will be hollow. But you guys, there's more. Again, let's get into Michael Rhodes and the law firm he works at. Rhodes and Doolin on the company rights on the website. They neither have any experience defending against defamation and interference with contracts, but Michael Rhodes knows a lot of billionaires. He wins by getting the charges thrown out during trial, just like he won for Kim. But look at the bio, right? He convinced the court to dismiss willful and indirect patent infringement and persuaded the judge to exclude the testimony, including significantly an expert tax was calculating damages. You guys, this is huge because a lot of people like to make a play for the fact that, oh, well, Lynn wasn't doing her job. Lynn couldn't do this. Listen, everybody's entitled to their own opinion, but know that you are going against a lawyer who that is his specialty. And that's what happened. Even with people criticizing that Chyna didn't have any specialists actually testifying, Michael literally exposed nude pictures of Chyna, right? My court observers are saying that Lynn actually does have a case because they saw Chyna break down and get flustered when she saw those photos. Again, being on the stand is very trying. Being on the stand takes a lot out of you, right? However, when you are thrown a curveball you did not mentally prepare for, it threw her off. When it got thrown off, she immediately shifted. Michael immediately shifted to hitting her about her finances. Chyna really didn't know what to do because she wasn't even in the mindset. However, Chyna, oddly enough, got their assistant to make some type of paperwork copies to actually show actual damages, right? He took the risk. Now let's get this straight. He took the risk that him showing nude photos would actually upset Blac Chyna, and it did. He then switched tracks and started attacking her about her finance. And right before Lynn, my court observers had finished printing out some sort of information which would literally give weight to what she said about her lost wages, Michael quickly closed the examination. He then immediately the next morning tried to get the damages thrown out and exposed all the financial info he had already dug up previously, right? He deliberately and willfully broke the court agreement to get his quick victory, and Judge Alacron went for it. Now let me just finish this, right? People are saying that Michael he sized up Judge Alacron and figured out ahead of time the way to convince the judge to do things his way. True, that is what good lawyers do. They win by any means, but you have to ask yourself, is anything worth it? Now get this, right? Judge Alacron already seemed like he was easy pickings, because if you look at Judge Alacron's bio online, it seems like he was only appointed because his dad was a great man. His dad was very powerful, and he basically was handed this judgeship. Miss Mason, right? The person, go watch my old video, that got fired for things that she did to show bias to the Kardashians, right? Allegedly, she literally got fired from that case. That was actually the person that knows the law, that knows how to run the courtroom, that knows how to do everything. So he's kind of flying, right? And in my mind, from what my court observers say, there might be a little bit of misogyny in the fact that Michael Rhodes is kind of substituting for Judge Alacron's father. If you see men that have very powerful fathers and are very weak themselves, sometimes when other strong, authoritative people come in like this is the way, they follow behind them, even if they're leading off the cliff. Now, this is speculation, right? Nobody knows what's in anybody's head, but this is what my court observers are saying, right? Alacron seems very weak, seems very incompetent, who was only a man who might only be there because of his father's legacy, right? And Michael basically was like shooting fish in a barrel. Now, sources are saying that if the award is below $14 million, there will 100% be a mistrial. But again, this is if Blac Chyna is up to it. Again, we see that Michael Rhodes has done what he promised to do for the Kardashians, but actually talk about that too, because my court observers and my legal insiders have an interesting theory about that. Y'all ready? Okay, let's go. Okay. Given Michael Rhodes and what his specialty is about lowering damages and getting suits paid out, my court observers and legal insiders are saying that they can pretty much think that he promised Kim and them that if he got the case, he would be able to stop them from paying out a lot of money, and a lot of much deserved money, in my opinion, to Blac Chyna, right? However, a lot of people saw that as the jury, around 2 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, as the jury did not come out and they kept asking for more and more instructions, he became more and more dour. Now they think, Gout thinks, that he was nervous because they basically promised the Kardashians that the jury would be out quickly. Unless the jury, and here's the thing, unless the jury comes out early today, right? Everybody is saying that it's going to be a good sign to Blac Chyna. Of course, we have to remember that the jury instructions do highly favor the Kardashians, along with the Michael Rhodes legal strategy. However, right, we have a weak judge who allows themselves to be manipulated. And he has willingly done that. And this is where they think that the basis of the mistrial will be, right? Get this. Given the complicated nature of questions and forums, they strongly see that the jury is contingent on individual critical thinkers that see through the continued defamation that the Kardashians and the unsubstantiated claims that the Kardashians have been lobbing at Blac Chyna all week. But again, this was a risky strategy by Lynn, because if you even look at social media, it's not the fact that a lot of people are dumb, that's not it. It's the fact that a lot of people are living their lives. They have preconceived notions, preconceived biases. I kind of do see why Michael Rhodes spoon feeds what he wants the jurors to actually think. However, my court observer said Lynn did an excellent job of seeing through all of that. Again, you guys, I'll leave it at this. And every legal expert I has said that. And Monday passes without a verdict. That will be a sign that Michael Rhodes lost his promise to the Kardashians and will increase his desperation to file his own false claims. But if they come out early, that means the jury bought the judge's instructions and Michael Rhodes. You guys, I am so nervous about what happens. Oh, before I forget, that last thing about Kim. Kim is a law student, and if she gets conviction for defamation, it won't prohibit her from getting her legal license, but it will make it a lot harder to pass the ethics portion of the bar. You also need to go through a background check and pass an ethics portion of the bar. So it doesn't necessarily stop, but it does make it harder. You have to go in front of a panel, explain why you do things, and people have to buy it. So you guys, again, it's one of those things that looks a little bit shady, and you have to wonder why. But you guys, at the very least, just know if Blac Chyna does not get the result she wants, and if she's willing to go for that fight, this will 100% result in a mistrial, and Chyna will have another day at court. All right, you guys, let me know what you think in the comments, and I'll talk to you later. Bye.